Right on. So we'll get it going. Our first guest who should have been, basically we can go in any order, it's not a problem. But our real estate guest, he's just landed in Miami, Florida, so he might be a little bit late to this session. But we'll go ahead and kick this off. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. My name is Giuliano Basile, founder of myPrepPlus. And it's a community that we've built, professional conversation, which is an opportunity to freely share common obstacles and struggles that we've overcome to kind of get to where we are, whether that be from a business standpoint, professional standpoint, just generalized obstacles that you have the opportunity to overcome. It's a freely open platform, so don't ever feel shy when it comes to communications. That being said, I'll go ahead and introduce our team members. First, I'd like to introduce Dasha. Dasha is my wife, and she handles all the legal work. She does all of the, she reads all of the information that gets posted, make sure that we're not violating any laws, anything crazy like that. Anytime we do anything for another company or entity, all of that information runs through her as well. I'll let her, if she can, just unmute herself, and then she can say hello.
Yes, absolutely. Hi, everyone. So my name is Dasha. I'm born in Moscow region, Russia. And I moved to the United States 3 years ago, and I have a Juris Doctor degree in law, and I've been practicing commercial law for almost 7 years, both in Russia and in the United States combined. So my other passion is psychology, and now I'm working on psychology degree. And at myPrepPlus, my duty is to make sure that we act in a good faith and in accordance with the law. So I believe in our mission in myPrepPlus, and I know that we have a wonderful team. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you, Dasha. Next, I want to introduce Taz. Taz, if you're online, she has absorbed the roles and responsibilities as Director of Operations and Systems and Operations. She basically handles all of the creation side of the house and making sure all the all of the internet interface is working properly. Taz, if you could, your screen is kind of only showing half of your face. Is that just me? It may just be me. Yeah, so is anyone else getting that?
Hi.
Half your face, yep. I don't know if you want to tilt your screen back or...
Oh, really?
But
That's interesting.
anyways, Taz,
Okay.
welcome. Donna, welcome.
Hi, guys.
How's it going?
Hi.
Sorry, muted over here, I got you. All right. All right.
Hi,
so,
my name is Taz, and sorry. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Hi, my name is Taz, and as Giuliano said, I'm working as Director of Systems and Operations for myPrepPlus. The expertise I bring to the table is website development, data integration, software integration, search engine optimization, and business strategy. I have an MBA in marketing. I also, during the span of my course in my career, I worked with small and mid-sized businesses and helped them with their tech stack. For small businesses, I've also helped them bring from ground up and to launch and even running them as a consulting agency. I have been learning the way of World Wide Web for 12 plus years now, and I'm really passionate learning more about technology and design. Thank you.
Thank you, Taz. Next, we have our Directors of Sales. His name is Nick Shink. You might have met him last week. His official name is Charles. However, he goes by Nick. Nick.
Thank you, Giuliano. As he said, I am the Director of Sales for myPrepPlus. My background is in sales, marketing, and for the last 10 years, I've been doing mostly project management in the automotive field. So by doing project management, I basically bring together people from different backgrounds, different industries, architects, construction, contractors, engineers, and kind of bringing that team together to complete these large-scale projects. So by Giuliano bringing me on board to myPrepPlus, I'm hoping to kind of do that the same. And it's pretty exciting to see these professional meetings here with different professionals from different industries. I think that gives us all a good opportunity to kind of learn from each other and kind of get some ideas that maybe we wouldn't have before. So I'm excited, and thank you, Giuliano.
Thank you, Nick.
You're muted, Jewel.
Thank you, Marco. So thank you, team. That's our team here at myPrepPlus. My professional background, I guess we obviously work early in the morning and then late into the evenings, and of course most of us have core professions. Currently my core profession is lead nuclear certification engineer, and that is a very interesting opportunity. However, this is where the excitement comes into play with myPrepPlus. I too hold an MBA degree as well as an engineering degree, mathematics, and I have a logistics background in network design. So the combination of our team, we are able to not just bring a typical, hey, we formulate a web design program. We actually formulate a business process and implement strategic improvements to help a company move from where they are currently to the next level. So that being said, the next round we'll move into is introductions around the table. So you guys may have met Marco Basile last meeting, so I'll introduce Marco. Marco, just please keep it brief. Just go ahead and give yourself a quick introduction.
Yeah, Marco Basile, obviously Giuliano's brother, owner, operator of Dreamscape Designs Incorporated, which is an umbrella company for my landscaping, party rentals, and real estate company. Been in the business for over a decade. Started my first company when I was in middle school, and been going strong ever since. I got the education of the hard knocks, school of hard knocks. So just trying to learn every day, and be a sponge. So, thank you.
Thank you, Marco. Next, we have Daniel Campus. He and I actually worked back in the Marine Corps together. He was also a network engineer. Daniel.
Hello, everyone. So, I'm Daniel Campus. I'm currently sitting here in Indianapolis. So outside of the Marine Corps, one of the things I'm doing is just real estate investing, currently here in Indianapolis, and then with partners virtually in Georgia, mainly Atlanta, and then down in southern Florida. Just started it like a couple months ago, so it's been like a slow, only like a couple co-deals, nothing crazy, but that's where I'm at. Absolutely,
thank you. All right, next we have Tazeen. Tazeen. We have Kashaw. Kashaw, are you online?
Yep, I'm here. Hey everyone, good evening. My name's Kaushal Shah. I'm a professional engineer, licensed professional engineer in 7 states with a mechanical thermal fluids background. I design natural gas pipelines for my core job, but also have had the opportunity of investing in real estate. I lived with, very close to Marco in Western Mass for the last decade, and recently moved to Houston, Texas. And I'm just liquidated my real estate portfolio in Massachusetts, and will be reinvesting in Texas. So if anyone has any good ideas or leads, or anyone else they know, feel free to connect me. I always like to advertise that up front.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kushal. Next we have Donna. Donna, are you online?
Yes, I am.
Well, welcome. Donna actually made a huge achievement. She was once an enlisted Marine. She went and got her degree. Now she is an officer in the Marine Corps. So welcome.
No, not yet, sir. Not yet. I attend the University of San Diego right now.
Oh, apologies. Yep. Okay. Yeah, why don't you fill us in?
So currently I'm a student at a University of San Diego, going for my bachelor's in psychology, and then also my minor in French. And that's kind of, I get paid to do that. It's great. Life is good.
Well, congratulations again on your achievements. So keep pushing forward. And what is it, 2 more years, 2.5 more years?
Yeah, about
Okay.
2.5 years, and that's kind of about it. And on the side, my husband and I we just bought a second house and rent out the first one. So big
Okay,
good for
good.
us.
Very cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Victor, you're online. I think you're calling out of Georgia. I mean, Georgia, right?
I live in Georgia, but actually right now I'm in Florida.
Okay, good for you. Yeah, Victor, go ahead and share a little bit about yourself as well.
So I actually just started a few different businesses, all in collaboration with each other as a soccer agent, along with a soccer consulting business. Also a brand I'm starting 1000%, and also doing a marketing business for players. So 4 on 1 rooftop.
Very good. Victor is a very talented soccer player indeed, and I missed playing with him in the midfield.
I know, man.
Very cool. All right, and then of course we have AJ. AJ and I had the opportunity to work inside of the Marine Corps as well. He was, or he is currently as well, a securities manager for a firm out in Colorado. He has a sincere passion for flying. So AJ, without further ado.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Like Giuliano said, I'm Antonio Gonzalez. I usually go by AJ. Currently, I work for Ball Aerospace, work in the program security department, so information and personnel security. Have a background, and my major was actually urban planning. Didn't really do too much with it. After that, developed some training in intel and security. Currently in training at an airline training pipeline school. Despite the current state of the airlines right now, that is my future goal. Unlike everybody else, I actually chose to invest away from, I currently own a house in Colorado, but chose to go away from business and trying to invest in myself into the airline training pipeline. So that's currently where my ambitions lie right now.
Very cool. AJ, thank you again. So our guest that was going to communicate real estate market trends, he is actually a loan officer. His name is Sebastian Cordova. He unfortunately is stuck in the middle of the airport. That was the text message I was responding to. So we will not have an opportunity to hear from him this month, unfortunately. So AJ, would we maybe we'll start with you as far as the airline industry is concerned, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So again, Giuliano, thanks for the time. Give me a moment to kind of like, this is kind of like a side study for me. So for everyone else, basically I wanted to kind of present some of this information to you because it's going to be very different than possibly some of the, the business real estate markets, trends and ideas that you guys are currently really familiar with. But basically I wanted to kind of bring up where the current state of the airlines is and what some of the airlines did and some of the decisions that they made in order to kind of survive past COVID. As we all know, it affected a lot of our economy and a lot of the businesses that we currently see. And it's really revolutionized the way that we're going to go forward. So kind of the known factors as far as what COVID did to the airlines, it shut down a lot of them, whether it be international or domestic. United Express, Compass Airlines, under Delta, they're all gone. International travel practically came to a halt, and there was a huge shift in demand and supply and demand from passenger type cargo, as you will, if you consider ourselves cargo, to actual materials and goods and services. Now, the way we look ahead is post-COVID, we're hoping that the airline industry kind of starts to begin to cancel some of those routes that we generally see the most frequently, where passengers are going and some of the less common routes, and they're sort of going through an adaptation phase. So what we're starting to see now with the airlines is a lot of those airlines that have still survived, and one of the best business decisions and models that a lot of people and a lot of other airlines are starting to kind of follow under, is that you see airlines like United, Lufthansa as an international one, Virgin Atlantic, all those ones that are still currently operating basically said, we have aircraft that are perfectly capable of transporting other cargo, pharmaceuticals, anything that can basically go underneath the belly, as well as in the seats. I mean, it literally came down to, let's put boxes and all kinds of other cargo literally on top of the seats and maybe take some of those seats out. That single-handedly saved a lot of the airlines, because if you think about it, people may not go places, but things still have to go places. And when they honed in on that type of model, they realized that they can still maintain their profit as well as exceed profits in time of like economic downfall such as COVID-19, and also the ability to kind of maintain alliances. I'm sure some of you have heard about the whole issue maybe going on, aside from the engine issues with United, the whole issue with North Alliance with United and JetBlue. they were one of the first ones to kind of do this idea of creating a small alliance in the sense that they could share routes, share the same systems, share the same terminals. Basically, kind of, we're going to stay separate companies, but we're going to combine our efforts and kind of survive through this together. So now you're going to start seeing, if any of you guys go on Google Flights or something like that and try to book a flight, you're going to see that a popular route that may have served to JetBlue is now going to be flying an American Airlines aircraft or American Airlines, under their flag. So some of the rules learned that in order to kind of survive some of the pandemics, when you have multi-million-dollar type aircraft in a business that one day can cost, or a week can cost you billions of dollars in profit, is to not develop complacency in meeting those trends. Just because you're a travel agency or whatnot, you're a traveling service agency in the sense that you're always taking people somewhere, you need to be flexible in your ability to take those punches in an unexpected downturn. I kind of have here is to basically never serve one facet of business. In my case, the industry that I'm entering is going to be travel and being a glorified bus driver, essentially. But basically, to branch out and expand. So you have FedEx and UPS basically hating on, United Airlines, because what United did was completely transform a lot of their aircraft to cargo below and above, taking some of that business away from FedEx and UPS. Who knows? Maybe FedEx will start taking more people. Probably not. But we see that a lot of that business share was starting to take away from it. And also to basically stay innovative and on the curve of demand. Now, that phrase kind of takes an interesting turn, because when you try and stay on the curve of demand, it's hard to kind of look at the trends going down the line, because no one can ever expect something like COVID-19. But really stay on the curve of demand is to leave your options open for innovation. Just because you have seats doesn't mean they have to be filled by people. Because like I said again before, people don't have to go to places, but things have to get to people. I'm sure you guys have all seen how, even myself today, Amazon started their own airline, Prime Air, and that's been doing fairly well. Even FedEx and UPS, again, have had a 50% increase in the amount of cargo that they're delivering, because all of us are starting to shop online and stay inside of our homes. Thus, those airlines are thus surviving. That's pretty much all I have is in the time limit that I was given for the current state of the airlines.
Well, excuse me. Thank you, Antonio. Yeah. And in fact, you can actually extend if you'd like, since our Sebastian Cordova is not here. If you had anything additional you'd like to add, you're more than welcome to. If not, we could transition into another topic.
Yeah, I'll definitely, trust me, this is something that's a huge passion of mine, so I can go on for the next hour, so don't give me more time. But I'll definitely field any questions as far as, down the line or whatnot.
Yeah, right on. I actually have a question for you. So you had mentioned that United Airlines was partnering with, or JetBlue and United Airlines may be sharing similar routes. Can you explain what that means? So when I think, I don't know anything about the airline industry, so when I think of a plane flying, I didn't realize there were routes. Can you explain what that means?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, kind of throw in a little bit of an aviation nerd term in there. So say you have, JetBlue likes to fly into New York a lot, while American Airlines is starting to shift more towards like the warmer climates, but where people are actually going to go post-COVID and where supplies need to get. But American Airlines doesn't want to necessarily lose that specific route that's assigned to them to go to JFK, because each airline basically has to put in a certain bid and get approved for a certain route. So to not lose it, they asked JetBlue, we see that you don't have enough planes, personnel, and whatever to get people there. If we allow you to use, our planes essentially under your flag, can we continue to fly that route? And I'm not too sure as far as like how the profit is shared or the revenue, but it keeps JetBlue's name in JFK, and it keeps American Airlines aircraft going to, say, JFK.
Yeah.
And the reason why, just quick blurb about it, the Justice Department, and there's a couple other legal factors that are going on, because it's not really, you either consume another airline or you go bankrupt and get bought out. There's not necessarily this co-sharing thing that goes on, because you have that word, monopoly, market sharing, and all that other stuff. Because what did both of their stocks start to do? They start to went up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I mean, as long as it's interesting that these, major money-making entities are actually sharing assets, which is unheard of up until about a year ago.
Yeah, it's smart. Hey, if they, there's only one bone and two dogs, who's gonna eat?
Right on. I like it. All right, right on. Are there any other questions as far as the airline industry is concerned?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are they using the same aircrafts for cargo as they were for passengers, or they're just remodeling them? How's that work?
Absolutely. So depending on the type and model of the aircraft, you have, of course, United Cargo, which is its own kind of subset under United. And then you have your normal passenger aircraft from United, the one like the 737s and things like that, that fly your normal Miami to Los Angeles route. What they've done is, without 150 plus people, I mean, there's calculations that go into it, but they're going to put things in the bottom of the cargo, but they're also going to be able to, because if you think about it, if you have 150, say 150 pound-ish people, that's 150 pounds worth of cargo that can basically go into different seats located throughout the aircraft. Now it's going to be pallets. They do have to modify the plane, but those seats are able to come out pretty darn easily. So there's really not much renovations that have to go into it, because there's the seat brakes. They're just basically on these little rails that you can just throw those seats out and start loading in pallets of cargo. And so basically, before it was a transport aircraft for people, now it's with seats.
So I do, unfortunately, just due to the late start, we are going to have to transition to a couple other things. But AJ, thank you for providing an overview of the airline industry. And I apologize to the audience that we don't have our real estate or loan officer on the line this evening. I'm hopeful I can get him back on the line for next month. That said, Shaw, actually, do you mind if I ask you to share one or two things about the real estate industry?
Sure. First of all, sorry my video is not on. I'm still at work, so
you're okay.
Turn it on. Well, with the real estate industry right now, State of the Union, essentially, COVID's been very tough. There are some states that are doing really well because their unemployment checks are tied to paying rent on time. Other states, such as Texas, are going through a big correction because there's a moratorium on evictions, but including the moratorium, people are not motivated to pay rent with the stimulus checks going away as well. So the market is very hot because there's a lot of easy capital available in terms of interest rates. So people can borrow at excruciatingly low interest rates, and people are getting the PPP program at 1%. So real estate market prices are very high for multifamily and commercial. But the challenge essentially we're paying is the capital cash flow issue, because collecting rent is definitely a challenge, and there is no incentive given by the government to business owners in terms of getting rent through them in case their tenants can't pay. So that's really the big debate of the State of the Union right now on the real estate side.
Yeah. So that said, right? So that's a good point. So at what point does I should say, like, the regulation as far as tenants don't have to pay for their rent, but you still have a landlord or business entity still required to pay their lender, right? In most cases. So I guess what are business owners facing, or landlords facing in that scenario?
So what my banks have offered me is either forgive rent for that amount. So I would have to submit saying these tenants didn't pay. That amount would get transferred over to the back end of my loan, but it would be a principal only payment, so they wouldn't charge me interest. So that's an option banks are giving to landlords. The second option, so I hope that made sense. So
yes, it does.
Okay, so if I collect $10,000 in rent and I only got $6,000 this month, the $4,000 stays on the principal books, but it's technically not due until the end of the life of the loan. They just extend the life of the loan.
Yeah.
And forgive any interest charges that you can pay. Second option is you can apply for a PPP loan. If you're a large enough organization where you have payroll that you can justify, you can apply for a PPP loan, and you can go down the SBA loan option. The third option is that essentially a lot of states up north and some in the Midwest and definitely in California, your unemployment is tied to paying rent on time, right? So you can file a complaint with the unemployment office saying that, I haven't received rent, and that could prompt the housing authorities locally to cut you a check. So those are the three options you can go through.
Very interesting, and I wish we had more time, Kushal, to communicate more about this topic. Unfortunately, our time is actually coming to an end. We do our best to be prompt as far as a 45-minute session is concerned. Kushal, maybe I could reach out to you offline and develop an in-depth discussion for next month if that's possible.
Absolutely. Great hosting this session. Good job.
Right on. All right. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That does conclude our session this month. Again, I just want to remind everyone that we do have a unique opportunity, and just remember the fact that we're online virtually, or whether your camera's on or off, or you have the ability to hear us and hear each other. We're doing a lot better than many other people in the world, the country, and we should be grateful for that opportunity. We truly believe solely in the small business community, and we believe in helping each other. So remember, when you're going to a restaurant, or you have a serviceman or woman coming to your house, or servicewoman on your vehicle or something, don't forget to thank them. And if you can, leave a nice tip for them, because I'm sure they appreciate it because of the strenuous circumstances that they're under. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for your time this evening, and have a great rest of your day.
Take it easy, Giuliano.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys. See you next month.